Hello, and welcome to this week's TBBAP. I'm Cake Standard.
And I'm Phantom Horn.
And today's episode was Pinkie Apple Pie. And you know, I found it fascinating. There was all this talk of genealogy. You know, you can find out that two ponies you didn't think were related actually are, and two ponies that are related actually aren't.
Absolutely, Keg. You, know anything about that
No,
stuff?
No, I don't know anything about it. It's just, you know, it gets you thinking. You ever feel out of place in our family, PH?
Well, I can't really say that I have.
Oh, you know, I'm just saying that, you've always been a little, you know, just, food for thought.
Okay. Best part of Pinkie Apple Pie, clearly the song, Apples to the Core.
I totally agree. It was definitely the best part of the episode.
It is my favorite song of Season 4.
I really liked the song in Flight to the Finish as well, but this one's definitely a rival.
This one's the best for me, and I knew it was going to be the best because ever since San Diego Comic-Con, when they showed the animatic, it was amazing. It was stuck in my head forever. And now it's going to be again, so thank you, Hasbro. I love you. You know, original storyboards and sketches are usually a lot more lively, like the drawings tend to have more energy to them, but in this case, I thought the final product kept pretty much all of the energy from the original sketches, so yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, it was good. Though there was one little thing I thought was odd when they're doing the "We're apples together" and they do their little hop, skip, and jump. I thought that they looked kind of floaty, which was weird, especially for like Big Mac, who's this huge dude. But you know, it wasn't a deal breaker. It was still good.
I didn't even notice.
No, there you go. Going into the episode, I think, you know, both of us expected this to be an episode about finding out the family ties between Pinkie Pie and Applejack.
I went and spoiled myself as much as possible, and I found out basically nothing new. They were both just clips about Pinkie being excited to discover that she's related to Applejack.
Okay, well, that's fine. I didn't see that. I had seen the animatics, though, and ever since seeing that, I assumed it was going to be about them finding out they were related.
Yeah, it was pretty clear.
But at the end of the episode, they're just like, it doesn't matter if we're related or not. You know, we've been through so much. We're family in our hearts. And that's great, but the main six are already family. It would have been, I was looking forward to finding out there was this additional connection, which, I mean, I know it's not really that important.
Maybe there is.
Well, yeah, but that's the thing. It's exactly the same way it was before. Who gives a shit?
But now they're maybe related.
Fuck off, PH. This is some bullshit.
What's your problem? It's a good message.
Look, here's my problem. It's a whole episode where they tantalize a fact, and at the end, they neither confirm nor deny it, so we end up right where we started off, but
there's
who
a
gives
reason.
a shit?
There's a reason why they neither confirm or deny it.
To learn a lesson?
Because the fact that they don't know leaves it open for Applejack to be like, well, you know, but it doesn't matter, okay? If they had said, oh, you are, or oh, you aren't, then they couldn't have taught that same message.
Here's the problem with that. They could have decided that upon, like, they could have found out that they didn't have evidence, or thought they didn't have evidence, and then they could be like, well, we're family anyway. And then, like, additionally, they could have been like, oh, hey, turns out we're not related. And then they'd feel that same connection, and they'd be like, it doesn't really matter. That would have been better, or finding out they were related would have been better. This was stupid, and I hated it.
Overall, even though I enjoyed this episode, there was a lot of I laughed a lot, so it was a really funny episode. But I'm really struggling to think of anything to say other than, yeah, she may be related, maybe not.
That's the problem, man.
It was funny. Apple Family, Pinkie Pie. Oh yeah, it was a Pinkie Pie episode. That's something. And I think she was portrayed...
It was half apple, half pink.
I think she was portrayed pretty well in it.
Better than she has been this season.
I don't think she was quote-unquote philanderized, as everyone's always trying to say she's being. The Apple Family was pretty good. I kind of liked the idea that Applejack was kind of self-conscious about her family on a level. It's really funny at the beginning when she says they try and tone down their family good times to make people not jealous.
Yeah, that was really funny.
I thought that was hilarious. But then later when she's like, let's show them the best version of our family, I was like, oh, that's kind of an interesting, not weakness, kind of an interesting fear that like I would kind of never have guessed, but it sort of makes sense because like she takes so much pride in her family, so of course she's gonna have some kind of like, you know, she's gonna worry about it too.
Hey, I gotta give credit where credit is due. The main six did not all appear in this episode, and that was fantastic because they had no reason to be there.
That's true. Now, there might not be as much to talk about with this episode as some recent episodes, but that's partially because they avoided easy fuck-ups like that. So I guess that's a good thing.
One thing I was really glad happened in this episode was we got to see more of one of my favorite characters, Big Mac. He's a total bro. You know, he got a little more characterization, how he, you know, fucked up the wagon, and, like, it was funny at the end how he's, like, started to talk, and he's like, blah, 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 and then Granny Smith comes over and is like, that's enough, Big Mac, you don't need to say a thing.
Yeah, he was pretty much the same old Big Mac.
So that kind of pissed me off, because I want to hear him talk, and I want there to be a Big Mac episode. That's a dream of mine.
But that's kind of his thing, not talking.
Well, yeah, but it'd be cool if there was an episode with him going around not talking and everyone just, like, bouncing shit off of him.
Oh, yeah.
And he was just, like, absorbing experiences.
You haven't read the comics, Keg.
No, I haven't.
Yeah.
I never will.
Maybe you should, if you want something like that, you might behoove you to check that out.
Well, there's my point right there. The story can be done. They should put it in the show. But it did piss me off a little bit at the beginning of the episode. Remember when they're all showing off how great they are, and Big Mac's like, we're really strong, or Applejack, and he lifts up that thing, and then, like, the pie slides off and hits him in the face, like he's on Spike's level. What's up with, like, all the male characters being shat on and just, like, for comic relief?
I guess I see what you mean, but kind of all the Apple family members are made to look like doofuses in this episode.
Not at that point, only later on. He stood out as, like, the joke of the situation. I mean, nothing happened with Apple Bloom, nothing happened with Granny Smith then.
He's lifting stuff, so one of them falls on him. I don't know, it's kind of an easy setup for a joke. I mean, it's definitely easy. It's not a good joke, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, the only problem I have with it is that it's, like, inconsistent. When has Big Mac ever been the butt of a joke before? And
well, now's the time!
I guess so. Did you notice Applejack was kind of dishonest this episode? The way she was kind of, like, hiding her families the way they really are to try to impress Pinkie and...
Actually, yeah, I did. And when I saw that, I thought, oh, maybe she's going to learn a lesson about honesty.
I thought that too.
And get a key or something.
Oh, man, at the end when they're like, are you sure you wouldn't like to take one of these Apple family heirlooms? I was like, it's the key, get the key, Apple key!
That would have been kind of weird, but I guess I could have seen it. Yeah.
It looked like a big, obvious setup to me, but whatever.
But then we had the obligatory end of episode stinger showcasing none other than the mighty sun. So definitely the sun is going to come back in the season finale. Definitely it's going to be involved in the opening of the box somehow.
It's true. It's clearly confirmed.
Yeah, season 4 predictions, #. This was a funny episode, especially Applejack. She was the funniest part of this episode.
She was funny, but Pinkie Pie was definitely the funniest person.
No, Applejack shone in this episode. She's, like, almost never been funny before. But here, she's made, like, all these hilarious faces.
Like what?
Like when Pinkie hugs her, and then when Apple Bloom says how responsible she is and she blushes. It's like, ah.
Yeah, that was That wasn't
so
funny.
It was funny. It was really funny.
Dude, whatever. What about when
because she's
Pinkie...
so flattered to be called dependable. It's like, whatever.
That's not even funny. Dude, Pinkie Pie, her selfie she took of herself with the duck lips, like her taking pictures in the cave.
It was good.
When, like, they're like, oh, let's get a picture of this. And, like, everyone's freaking out, but she's just, like, you know, her normal Pinkie self. Nah, she killed it this episode in the humor department.
Pinkie was funny. I'll give you that. But Applejack stood out to me as funny because she's usually not funny, but she definitely was this time.
Well, I mean,
big contrast there.
I mean, I guess from her usual zero-sum humor game up to, like, 2 is pretty impressive as opposed to Pinkie's constant 9.
She was funny in Bats, too.
Yeah, she was kind of funny.
Also funny was everything pertaining to Golden Delicious. She's a fucking monster, by the way.
Yeah, that's true.
She's horrifying.
Got a million cats.
The one that's dead and made of dust?
Yeah, that cat definitely died. Has been staying there for 100 years and turned to dust.
This fucking nightmare. Also, speaking of nightmares, Pinkie still has the Maniac's powers. We see her hold up the camera with her hair at the end.
Yeah, she clearly still has the Maniac's powers, confirming the comic book's return in the season 4 finale.
Yep.
So, to sum up, good song, okay episode, I don't know, 5 out of 10, something like that.
5 out of 10?
Yeah.
Wait, is that on, like, a video game rating scale, or on, like,
It's on my fucking scale, I don't know.
Okay, rate it A to F.
It's like an average MLP episode.
A to F.
B minus?
See, I was gonna say about the same thing, only I was gonna call that, like, an 8.
Oh, well, there you go.
Okay, yeah, I would say it's a C plus B minus. It's a good episode. It was funny. Nothing blew my mind or anything. So, yeah, a tepid thumbs up.
And that's going to wrap it up. This one was short and sweet.
I've got nothing left to say.
Thanks for joining us on TBBAP. I'm Cake Standard.
I'm Phantom Horn.
We'll see you next week.
Okay, I got it. The standard family tree.
Okay, let's take a look-see here. Ooh. This isn't looking good. I don't see a single unicorn in our whole family tree.
Well, I mean, unicorn, not a unicorn. It's not all black and white, Keg.
Oh, I don't know, man. It's not looking too good here.
No, I mean, that's a false dichotomy. You said
this family tree is pretty,
it's shades of gray.